A dispute over a land use ordinance has turned into a lawsuit because a Helga Township resident says he should not be required to apply for a permit to remove rocks from his own property. Jamil Donath has more.
The rocks need to come out of here.
When Doug Crosby bought this property in Helga Township, he thought removing the massive rocks in his fields was his biggest problem.
My choice to buy this land was not to mine.
The Helga Township Board has filed a lawsuit against Crosby, claiming he is in violation of the land use ordinance for removing materials off his property without a permit.
The purpose of the ordinance is to protect the township as well as the neighbors.
Helga Township's land use administrator received a call from neighbors claiming that there were numerous trucks removing some sort of material from Crosby's property. And at that time, the town informed Crosby that he needed a permit to remove any sort of mineral, rock, or gravel from his property.
We didn't go out and look to see whether Mr. Crosby was doing this. We had township residents calling us asking whether or not this enterprise should go on.
Crosby says he hired Ryerson Construction to remove only the rocks that prevent him from tilling his fields for grazing. And he says the trucks haul them using a Hubbard County road.
The excavation of the surface rock is merely to facilitate the use of tillage equipment so that I do not harm the equipment.
Several affidavits from former township board members state that on numerous occasions, they and other residents have removed minerals off their property without a permit.
We've never given anybody a conditional use permit, never asked for a conditional use permit for any farmer to remove rocks from their field.
However, the township's attorney says if there are other violations of the ordinance that have gone unnoticed, that does not excuse someone else from breaking the law.
If someone's speeding down the road, you get pulled over, you don't get to say, well, the guy next to me was going the same speed, therefore you can't get a ticket.
So the question is this: if it's written in law, does that make it right?
It was unkillable.
If you ask some Helga landowners like Crosby, it's not so black and white. Jamil Donath, Lakeland News.
Now, the first court hearing is scheduled for August 15th. The judge will review all information provided by both parties and determine to uphold the cease and desist or drop the charges.
If you've enjoyed this segment of Lakeland News, please consider making a tax-deductible contribution to Lakeland Public Television.